Lawsuit drama exposed Rock Nation, and it just gets worse, man. Let's get into it and see why I'm going with this one now.
In our last video on this Rock Nation lawsuit
This guy
involving
again.
Desiree Perez, we covered how her daughter is currently suing her and
Chuck.
Rock Nation because the daughter is alleging that Desiree Perez used her influence and connections and network through Rock Nation to basically torment her life, get her institutionalized 4 times using lies, manipulating people, bribing people, and using her network of people to essentially control her. She would also claim that she got her husband locked up 6 times on false pretenses. The police will confirm that the husband's arrest was under false pretenses and they apologized. And she will claim this is all being done because she wouldn't leave her husband after Desiree Perez asked her to leave her husband.
Welcome back. It's called the Baker Act. Under state law, people can be forced into a facility for a mental health evaluation if, among other reasons, they are a danger to themselves or others.
But in a new lawsuit, a South Florida woman says that she was held in mental institutions for nearly 2 weeks for no legitimate reason. And she shared body camera video that she says proves her case and raises questions about how this law meant to protect people can be implemented. NBC6 investigative reporter Amy Viteri takes a closer look.
Prevent me from leaving the room.
The incident started on March 27th of last year.
So legally, I can't go home.
No.
Why?
Body camera video shows Broward Sheriff's deputies met on the side of the road in Dania Beach.
Hello. How's it going? How's it going?
By this man.
I'm waiting for a car to go by. There's a girl driving it. She's like a kind of mentally unstable person.
BSO has not responded to inquiries about who called the deputies there, but it appears they're taking direction from the man in the gray t-shirt.
She's heading over here right now. Pinging her or? Yes, they have a GPS on her.
He asks deputies to follow him to a nearby parking lot once she arrives.
I have a doctor, Dr. Boba from Hollywood Memorial Hospital, who's over there right now waiting for her to show up, and he's going to bake her out.
And when I showed up, it obviously was not an estimate.
Demore Hadley says she was lured to that parking lot by someone posing as a potential client for the landscaping company she runs with her then boyfriend, now husband.
She claimed her mother used the full powers of her criminal organization against her. Claims that once the daughter refused to leave her husband, the mom just upped the ante. She got involved with the daughter's job. She was able to bill out the job financially, and she used the job to essentially torment the daughter some more. And when the daughter wouldn't leave her husband, she had the job fire her so she could be financially dependent on Desiree Perez. Allegedly, that's according to the daughter. She had their home wiretapped with cameras, surveillance, audio devices. She bought a house across the street from them when they tried to move to get away from her. This entire situation is crazy. But this particular video will be discussing another lawsuit that Desiree Perez filed against the daughter's husband directly. Now, this lawsuit was discussed briefly in our last video. So essentially, Desiree Perez has been using her influence, according to the daughter, to get Miami-Dade police to arrest her husband on false pretenses. There's an email that Desiree Perez sent to the chief of police or to the Miami-Dade Police Department from the Rock Nation email, letting them know, hey, I know y'all might drop these charges, but extend it some more so we could put some pressure on them. So these are things that are happening. Now, the Miami-Dade Police Department released like a memorandum essentially saying, hey, listen, man, we made a mistake. This man is innocent. These charges, was filed under false pretenses. And they essentially chastised Desiree Perez for even getting involved or using her influence to do these things. Desiree Perez will file a response claiming she's...
Hold on, Shaq. Yo, you hungry? What you want to eat? What you want to eat? Order some. Look.
Stands by it and that she did nothing wrong.
And according to Demore, it's her own mother who's behind it. In this lawsuit, she claims her mother, Desiree Perez, used unlawful means to have Demore falsely detained under Florida's Baker Act and Marchman Act.
So she's the CEO of Rock Nation, a company that she owns along with Sean Carter, the famous rapper Jay-Z.
The complaint alleges a conspiracy, saying Perez used her money, power, and influence to tear apart Demore and her husband, Javon Hadley, and created an enterprise of individuals details to effectuate her plot.
To essentially try to separate me from my husband and to falsely accuse him of domestic violence.
Perez has repeatedly denied these allegations in court filings. A month before Demore filed her complaint, we found her mother filed her own lawsuit against Demore's husband, Javon, citing evidence Perez says he has abused her daughter for years, something the couple has denied in court records. In that lawsuit, Desiree Perez says she moved to Baker Act her daughter, fearing she was at risk of and abusing prescription drugs.
I haven't seen anything in my entire 20 years of practicing law that it is so clear that someone did something wrong.
Attorney Hilton Napoleon is representing Demore in the lawsuit, which claims Perez harassed the couple for years, including making unfounded claims to get Javon arrested on multiple occasions for battery and domestic violence, charges prosecutors did not pursue.
The state attorney's office wrote a 11-page scathing closeout memorandum.
Yo, imagine your mom doing something like that. Like, that's foul, bro. Like, I can't believe that. Yo, what was the reason she was doing all of that? Like, I don't know if son is black and she's racist or whatever, because she's Hispanic. You know, some Hispanic people don't think they're black. And I don't know if he's Hispanic, but just darker skin tone. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even just throw that out there. It could be, though.
Which basically said that her mother made false allegations to the police.
In this closeout memo, a prosecutor with the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office cites Demore's lack of cooperation and raises concerns about some of the evidence and how it was obtained. The prosecutor also wrote Demore was wrongfully Baker Acted last year, something her mother's attorney disputes in this letter, challenging many of the memo's other conclusions.
I went digging and I found the Desiree Perez lawsuit against the husband. And this is one of the craziest things I've ever read. As we all know, every charge the husband was ever arrested for got dropped and the police apologized, right? Things like Desiree Perez got the police to believe that this man was trafficking his own wife, that he raped her, all type of things, all right? Now, what I would say, though, when I read this lawsuit that Desiree Perez filed against her daughter's husband, the lawsuit is still active, by the way. When I read this lawsuit, my initial jerk reaction was, this began from a good place. This began from a place of a concerned mother.
You hearing that, right?
And it quickly got out of control. Now, like Desiree Perez's daughter and her husband was staying in one of the family homes. And Desiree Perez bugged the house with cameras, with audio recording devices, all type of things, trying to catch them doing something. And they was being recorded 24/7 for about a year or two. And she was only able to show 2 occurrences where she felt like some level of violation and abuse was happening. And from that particular moment, she wanted her daughter to have nothing to do with the husband. And she...
All right, but if your daughter's still with the man and that's her husband, why you so, like, what did he do that makes you so passionate about her leaving? Like, what the hell, bro? Like, mind your business. Mind your business. You bugging people crib, putting cameras, watching them. Like, did she want her husband for herself? She want her daughter husband for herself or something? Like, what's up with her?
The man that she left the husband. And when she refused to do so, she then enacted the full force of Roc Nation and a criminal enterprise upon her daughter and the husband. And we're going to review the 2 things because I have the video and I have the wiretap audio as well. We're going to review the 2 things.
Well, getting recorded for 2 years in your crib without knowing is outrageous, bro.
That made Desiree Perez demand her daughter leave the husband or else. Now, when I play these wiretaps in the video, I do want to say, bruh, the daughter has accused Desiree Perez of creating fake evidence. Like, for example, she played an audio of the daughter supposedly crying out, screaming, getting raped to the daughter's psychologist. And the psychologist was like, hold on, like, I know how your daughter sounds like. That's not her. But she was trying to use the daughter's doctor to institutionalize her. So she gave the doctor fake audio, allegedly. All right, that's what the daughter said. Gave the doctor fake audio so the doctor could institutionalize her. Turned out it wasn't her. So Desiree Perez has been accused before of creating fake wiretaps, fake evidence to torment somebody. The husband is about to walk in. The daughter is in the red sweats. He walks in. He's upset. Now, he does some weirdo stuff. If this is an authentic video, he's a weirdo for doing this. So he goes in and it looks like he throws a punch and then he grabs something from out of her hand and then pushes her. He throws her into the door and then he leaves. I also obtained one of the wiretap audios that Desiree Perez is claiming that this is proof that the husband has been putting his hands on her daughter and the husband has been essentially making the daughter do things against her will and violating her.
Especially because I know I've been sick. I'm gonna ask you again. You think it's okay to wake up at 9 o'clock and call somebody at 9:30 for a business call? You think that's okay? Look me in my eye and tell me that's okay.
Yes, 30 minutes prior, yes. Sure.
You're gonna wake up at 9 o'clock and make a business call at 9:30.
Yes, I wouldn't do anything else. I would just literally go outside, take me out, and hit the call.
I feel nasty even listening to this audio. Nobody should have access to this audio. This is a married couple arguing about a call being made too early. Now, do I think the dude is tripping? Maybe, yeah, but I've never been married. I don't know what type of routine they have going on in terms of why a call at 9 a.m. would piss.
Yeah, that's the thing too, because if you don't normally get up and do business at those times, why are you getting up and you feel me? You making calls at 9 o'clock. Was he still, your husband still sleeping, and you feel like being that he's sleeping, he won't know that you on the phone and shit? Like, why would you be, you feel me?
Piss him off, but this should be something private. There's something nasty about knowing that like this house was bugged, the wiretap, without their knowledge of their audio being recorded 24/7, and no matter where they go in their own home, they can't have a conversation that won't be overheard by somebody else. So when they are arguing, she claims that sound we just heard of the she claims that the husband like cocked back a gun. I didn't hear a gun sound, to be honest. It sounds like he was rolling out his computer or something. Now, she would also say that this next conversation they're about to have, so they have a joint business together, and he's trying to convince the daughter to take 5% of whatever like he's paying her. So apparently he's been paying her a certain percentage of the proceeds because he kind of runs the business, and he's not trying to convince her to go from whatever he's paying her to taking 5%. Again, this is some married couple stuff. We shouldn't be hearing this, but we're hearing this because Desiree Perez bugged up their home. So she presented this as evidence of abuse. Now, he's about to start having a conversation trying to convince her to...
But how is she able to do all of this without also getting charged? Because that's unlawful surveillance, bro. You putting cameras and bugging people crib, and that's that, and then you putting out private information that you're not supposed to do that.
Take 5%.
Change my subbids to 5%. I'll pay you when I want to pay you, because you gonna be in the 5%, Damore. You cool with 5%? Shut up! Man, stop it! This fake ass crime. I feel like breaking this motherfucker. Everything. Fuck it. Oh, my mama. You know your mama think you the dumbest motherfucker ever? No, look me in my eye. Look me in my eye. Look me when I'm talking to you. Look me in my eye. Look me in my eye when I'm talking to you. Mama. No, I'm talking, man. No, I'm talking. I'm talking. I'm talking.
So the family tries to get involved in the conversation, and that's where you see the loud screaming. So it would appear the family don't like him, and they feel like he's bad for her. I'll be real, from what I'm hearing, dude sounds like an abusive weirdo. Like, dude sounds like a dude who is emotionally out of control. And it don't really sound like he's
A
good,
little
sir.
bit.
To be honest, I'm gonna give Desiree Perez the benefit of the doubt. The husband seems like an asshole. Like, he don't really seem like a good guy. I wouldn't want that man dating my daughter either. From
I mean, we can't. You can take that from that, but you got to remember, she's not putting evidence of when he's being nice or any of that either. So you can't have like a perception on a person from just if you only gonna show bad things. You feel me? I cannot give an honest opinion on someone and how I feel like they are as a person as a whole from just seeing only bad things. You know what I'm saying? You gotta show good and bad for me to be able to say, all right, boom. Because sometimes the good outweighs the bad. You feel me?
that particular snippet. However, that's one thing, all right? Thinking, yo, this dude is bad for my daughter. But if your daughter is choosing to be with this dude, she's choosing to forgive, she's choosing to overcome, she's choosing to move forward with him and to love him, then you don't get to take it upon yourself now to say, okay, I'm going to just make sure my daughter's life is a living hell so she could leave him. You know what? Since the police won't prosecute him for what I showed him doing on camera because I obtained it illegally, I wiretap his house and obtained his evidence illegally. So because they won't prosecute him for that, I'm going to go ahead and try to get them to prosecute him for other things such as trafficking and other charges that don't stick up in court and the police apologize for, right? So this lawsuit that was filed against the husband was actually filed by Desiree Perez and other members of the family, but it was led by Desiree Perez. Desiree Perez, Olga, Zayas, Melodies, Garcias Gonzalez, Denise Milagros Gonzalez. Apparently these are all family members. They sued the husband because they're claiming them having
Yo, I thought he was reading out one whole name just now.
to watch him treat her a certain way gives them mental anguish, and they're suffering, like, is pain and suffering, and they deserve to be compensated for enduring pain and suffering for watching him treat her a certain way. I've never seen this before ever, to be honest, bro. I've never seen somebody sue somebody for treating somebody a certain way because they have to watch it. Like, to me, this is kind of crazy, right? I've never seen this before. So that's the claims. Because they have to watch him treat her a certain way, they deserve to be compensated. Honestly, I feel like this legal battle was just created to bankrupt this dude, ruin his life, ruin his small business, and eventually have him say, you know what, bruh, yo, having to deal with this just isn't worth it anymore. I'm going to leave your daughter before you destroy my life. She accused the husband of a lot, to be honest, and a lot of this thing the daughter will claim is all cap. So she will claim that the husband engaged in relentless and sadistic pattern of cruelty and abuse, including physical, mental, sexual, and financial abuse, psychological torture, exploitation, and coercive control over DH, which is the daughter's name, devastating the lives of the plaintiff and her family. So claiming, right, that how he treats her have devastated their lives, right? So they claim he used coercive control techniques such as indoctrination, physical surveillance, isolation, subjugation, emotional abuse, gaslighting, and animal abuse to dominate and control, like, the girl. However, with the animal abuse, they've already, like, rebutted this in their initial lawsuit, claiming that whatever damages she claimed the husband did to the dog, like, never happened at all. So again, the allegations goes, uh, like, he indoctrinated DH to believe that he is a god, that he is always right, and that she should only speak when spoken to and never interrupt him. This sounds like somebody who is controlling. This don't say, bro, like, bro, what are we doing here, bro? You suing somebody for what? Right, for having his wife think that he's a god, bro. Like, come on, bro. All right, that he isolated the wife by telling her that her family doesn't care about her or love her, urging her to distance herself from them and make him the center of her world. You know what tells the daughter her family is out of control and she needs to stay away? Her finding out that she's under 24/7 surveillance, that her house has been wiretapped, that when she moves to get away, the family just buys a house across the street to watch her, hire private investigators to stalk her 24/7. Oh, also, when she gets a job so she don't have to rely on, the mama and her funds, the mama, bills out the company financially, and they use the company to further torment her. I feel like that would probably tell her to stay away from the family, not just the husband. All right, so it continues. degrade the wife by constantly calling her stupid, unworthy, dumb, and comparing her unfavorably to her mother, claiming her family thinks she is stupid, economically abuse the daughter by forcing her to fund his request, demand or beg money from her family, turn over her salary, sell her possessions, and seek permission for minor purchases like a cup of tea. I think this needs to be said. We could agree on both things. We could agree the husband don't really appear to be a nice guy. From the little snippet we've seen, he appeared to be pretty horrible. But we could also say the daughter, being a fully grown woman, has
Yeah.
every right to choose who she wanted to love, right? If the husband being kind of controlling, if she can deal with that, if she wants to still be married to him, she should have a right to be married to him, and she shouldn't have to deal with the mother tormenting her life, trying to get her institutionalized, right? Allegedly contacting doctors and having doctors who she's never met before co-sign on her being mentally unstable and her being a risk to herself and having her institutionalized through the Baker Act. July 5th, 2021, take a look at the threatening messages they claim that Javon sent to the daughter. So, he sent a message to the daughter demanding surveillance of Desiree during her visit to the family home, stating, "You better handle her. And if she is here, I need her to be watched the whole time." Javon also texted the daughter and says, "And when they are around that house, anybody from that side, you need to have eyes on them." And she claims that Javon threatened physical harm, stating, "Because if I catch them, I'm effing telling you, I'm effing go to jail. Starting with the men. I'm a effing shake ish up soon." Now, according to Desiree, that when he says starting with the men, he's referring to Julio, which is their 88-year-old grandfather with dementia. To me, that sounds like poking a bear with a stick. Like, come on, bear, you won't do nothing. You won't do nothing. And then as soon as the bear react, you pull out the camera and say, "See, I told you the bear's violent." Bruh, if this man has to deal with having his home wiretapped, having private investigators following him, being well aware that you guys are trying to pin false charges on him, and then when he realizes y'all are coming to visit, he tells his wife, "Hey, bruh, you watch them with a close eye. Don't let them out your sight. Because if they do anything, I'm going to lose my mind." That sounds like you done poked that bear enough times until now the bear is angry at you. And when the bear react, you got the camera out like this. "See, I told you, I'll lock
Right.
him up." She will say she has threatening messages between Javon and the daughter in regards to the business. Apparently, he liked the landscaping business done a certain way. And he would text her, "If it's trash and trees blocking side entrance of the lot and they can't get close enough on the outside, that's your behind. You better pray. I'm telling you, I'm going to devour your hopes and dreams if it doesn't fit. And all I'm saying is you better fix it or I'll fix you." Directly threatening physical harm. Now, again, these messages can't really be confirmed. Again, the daughter has denied them, but I'll be real. I believe these messages do exist, and I
Crazy.
believe this dude is a psycho, to be honest. But again, it's the daughter's right to want to be with the psycho, all right? And even if, like you're saying, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna try my hardest to get my daughter not to be with the psycho." Cool, you could do that without destroying the daughter's life, right? Without trying to get her institutionalized, without lying about her doing drugs when she hasn't done drugs, when she passed every drug test they administered after she was institutionalized. And she continued. Apparently, she claims that, like Javon, tried to access the surveillance system for their family home. So apparently, Desiree Perez owns the home, or right, that Javon and the daughter was living in. And, it was their home. She owns it, but it's their home. Just like a landlord is not allowed to come and start putting bugs and cameras all up in your home, right?
Yeah, facts.
So apparently, Desiree Perez has surveillance system set up that Javon wanted to access just to make sure, that he is aware of what they're able to see and what's going on. She claims that, him trying to access that is him wanting more control. And, she also claimed that he would try to drive away.
How am I wanting more control if you put cameras in my house? I want to see what you can see on those cameras. I want to know where exactly the cameras are installed. Can you hear when people are talking? Why wouldn't I want to know that? I live here. Like, what the hell? I want to know that. That's crazy.
Between the daughter and her family, telling her they were
Just,
untrustworthy and needed to be
hell I gotta
watched.
do with
She would
control.
claim the husband would verbally abuse the daughter, calling her a bitch and a dummy and threatening to slap her. Now, she would
Most
claim
people
the
say
husband
stuff
demanded
like that.
humiliating acts from the daughter via text messages. Now, one of the messages that she read shows, "You told me in order for you not to leave me, I need to get on my knees. I'll suck your D tonight and get on my knees." and promising to do everything he said to avoid abandonment. But that's the thing. The daughter is saying, yo, I will get on my knees and suck that D. Just don't leave him, baby. I'm sorry. And a lot of what we read in this lawsuit is one-sided. We essentially know what he apparently did, but don't know what she did. Because if she's begging him not to leave her and begging him to give her another chance and she will do whatever he wants and get on her knees and do this, it looks like she feels like she's to blame for a lot of this, but I'll be real. I really have a zero tolerance when it comes to men talking or treating women a certain way. So if any of this is true, even one.
Yo, bro, I hate when people come with this fake ass persona for the internet, bro. And then it'd be the same nigga on No Jumper podcast speaking ill about certain female artists. Bro, it doesn't make any sense. Like, niggas try to act like this perfect person when they trying to make people look at them like, bro, stop it. Stop it, bro. Y'all need to stop that shit, bro. Like, the internet make you niggas feel like you gotta be so fake. Like, stop that shit, bro. Cause niggas be talking crazy about
1%, the
niggas
husband
is
is a garbage
nuts.
human being. But I still stand by the fact that no matter how bad the husband is, if the daughter is choosing to stay, that's not like y'all right to then go ahead and use the criminal enterprise and use your cohorts and your network to make her life a living hell, to torment her, to try to apply pressure on her, to leave the husband, right? No, bro. Like, yo, she should be able to be with the husband if she wants to be with the husband. And as an adult, she should be able to leave when she wants to leave. She shouldn't be getting institutionalized. She shouldn't be having her job affected. She shouldn't like being followed by private
Facts
investigators
though.
24/7. No.
Yeah, that's a fact though. Because if the dude, all right, they say the dude is problematic and whoop de whoop. Why aren't they just bothering the dude? Like, why are you doing that? Why are you putting your daughter in a mental institution? Why y'all doing this? Why y'all doing that for? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, and that's wrong. All right. So I
Seems
think
like
two
the
things could
family
be
just
true. The
want to
husband could be
control her.
terrible. Desiree Perez could want her daughter to date better, but it could also be true that you guys have no right to torment the daughter because she don't want to leave the husband. Well, let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this?
I ain't gonna front, man. Like, the mom, the whole family, they outrageous for, you know, whatever it is that they was doing and shit. That's out of hand. They had no business, bugging the people crib. Like, why you putting cameras in? That's crazy. That's weird, bro. That's weird. Imagine, so think about it, right? Imagine you and your wife walking around the crib naked. Shorty moms and shorty relatives can see that. That's wicked. You imagine you and your wife in a living room getting wicked. Her mother could see that, hear that. Hey, bro, that's crazy. That's mad uncomfortable. Like, finding out that your crib was bugged and if her family and her people could hear it, that I ain't gonna front. That's different. Different. That's mad uncomfortable.